Item number SCP-003. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-003 is to be maintained at a constant temperature of no less than 35 degrees Celsius and ideally above 100 degrees Celsius. In event of total power failure, assigned personnel must use their body heat to keep SCP-0031 above the critical temperature. All personnel who have come in physical contact with SCP-0031 are to immediately report for sterilization. SCP-0031 must not be removed from SCP-0032, except in case of emergency procedures detailed above. Any significant change in SCP-0032's rune activity, including pattern frequency or color, should be reported within 3 hours of occurrence. Cessation of rune activity must be reported immediately. SCP-0032 must be supplied with power via the source-designated generator 039 at all times. Refer to attached documentation for details. Description:
SCP-003 was located by a remote viewing team SRV-04 Beta. SCP-003 consists of two related components of separate origin, referred to as SCP-0031 and SCP-0032. SCP-0031 appears to be composed of chitin, hair, and nails of unknown biology, similar to arranged in a configuration similar to that of a computer motherboard. Testing reveals SCP-0031 to predate earliest known circuit boards by SCP-0031 is considered sentient, but not actively dangerous except under certain circumstances. SCP-0031 was found on a stone tablet, SCP-0032, on which it currently resides. The runes on SCP-0032 are not part of any known language and flicker with pale tones. These are effects of communication, interpretable by Analysis has shown that SCP-0031 and SCP-0032 have different origins. SCP-0032 is controlled by a non-biological internal computer, the contents of which are mostly inaccessible without risk of damaging SCP-0032. SCP-0032 is capable of controlled emissions of radiation, including heat and It is considered probable that SCP-0032 was created for the purpose of containing SCP-0031. Methods detailed in Addendum 00301 have allowed access to some data contained in SCP-0032. While interpretation is not conclusive, contents may refer to a past or a potential future class restructuring event caused by SCP-0031. SCP-0032 contains an internal power source which appears to have been losing power since before discovery by SRV-04 Beta. It appears possible that SRV-04 Beta was deliberately contacted by SCP-0032 via Other organizations have also been alerted to SCP-003's existence, possibly by similar means. Despite this activity, SCP-0032 does not appear to be sentient based on and its lack of reaction to including the MO3 Gloria procedures. When SCP-003 drops below the temperature of 35 degrees Celsius, both components react. First, SCP-0031 enters a growth state, characterized by an exponential increase in mass. This growth state consists of two stages. In both stages, SCP-0031 partially fuels its growth by converting matter around it, starting with any surrounding or inorganic material, including atmospheric elements, then non-living organic material, including cells of dead skin, hair, chitin, enamel, keratin, and other biological materials. The first stage is the default stage. The second stage begins when SCP-0031 comes in contact with living organic material. In its second stage, SCP-003 may pause, slow, or change its growth, and will also reprocess inorganic and non-living organic elements into functionally similar structures. While growth is constant in the first stage, in the second stage, SCP-0031's growth rate is diminished by 20 to 90%, so long as SCP-0031 remains in contact with living organic material. The percentage is determined by the complexity of the organisms in contact with SCP-0031, as confirmed by readings. SCP-0031 appears to devote a large amount of processing power to analysis of living organic material. During each of SCP-0031's growth stages, SCP-0032 releases bursts of radiation that temporarily inhibit SCP-0031's growth, or reverse this growth when the temperature of SCP-0031 rises above 100 degrees Celsius. Similar radiation emissions may be produced via
Addendum 00301. Acting on information gathered from linguistic analysis of SCP-0032's runes, research team MO3 Gloria has managed to establish a link between SCP-003 and for analysis of functions. SCP-0031 must now be considered sentient and is to be kept a minimum of 1 kilometer away and the resulting byproduct at all times. Addendum 00302. SCP-0032's power loss has been exacerbated by the procedures performed by MO3 Gloria. On orders of O5, MO3 Gloria will continue procedures. Addendum 00303. During this process, SCP-0031 doubled its mass and began rapid structural growth. Temperature was immediately returned to 100 degrees Celsius. Growth and mass increase of SCP-0031 continued for 9 minutes and 6 seconds, at which time a sustained radiation peak was produced by SCP-0032. In response, SCP-0031 returned to its normal state in 3 minutes and 39 seconds. New growth dissolved into a dusty residue which was collected for analysis. Both SCP-0031 and SCP-0032 seized all detectable activity. SCP-0032 did not resume activity until connected to external power source. SCP-0032's runes glowed uniformly gray and did not resume normal activity for 3 hours. And afterwards, SCP-0032 no longer appears to be able to maintain containment area at a temperature above 35 degrees Celsius without external power supplied by Addendum 00304. The procedure detailed in Addendum 00303 was repeated, and SCP-0031 again entered a growth state. After 10 minutes and 13 seconds, SCP-0032 once again produced a sustained radiation spike. SCP-0031's growth stopped for 36 seconds, then returned at its normal pace. On quadrupling its mass, SCP-0031 formed a coherent outer shell and body, which initially took a form similar to a brittle star of 50 feet in diameter, including what appeared to be a central processor of 10 feet in diameter, formed sensory organs that appeared to scan the surrounding environment, and partially coverted its containment area to SCP-0031 then breached containment, entering the observation gallery where 9 members of MO3 Gloria were present. On physical contact with team members, SCP-0031 entered Stage 2 of its growth, and SCP-0031 stopped growth for 15 minutes. SCP-0031 then resumed growth, and rearranged the component part of the center of its form to the shape of a 9-foot-tall female humanoid with peripheral tentacles, shifting to extrude primarily from SCP-003-1's newly formed hair and spine. SCP-0031 then produced rudimentary vocalizations, and an unknown Caucasian male, later identified as, approached the compromised containment area in company of a full squad of agents. Claimed to be acting on orders of O5 and attempted communications with SCP-0031. Agent of MO3 Gloria successfully restored power to SCP-0032 and activated backup generators to return the temperatures to 100 degrees Celsius. SCP-0031 returned to its normal state in 21 minutes and 7 seconds, and was successfully recontained without incident. All 9 members of MO3 Gloria, however, affected by SCP-0031, were found to be physically unharmed with no residual effects besides minor psychological trauma. The converted materials of SCP-003's former containment area did not dissolve and are now under analysis. Addendum 003-05. In light of the previous incident, O5, by joint decision of all MO3 Gloria procedures have been indefinitely suspended.